Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping straight into the real mechanics of anger.
Yeah,
We want to get you past that unhelpful, just calm down
right.
advice and, find the actual levers for managing this powerful emotion.
Mm-hmm.
We've looked at sources that frame anger less as a character flaw and more like a system.
Exactly. A system to decode. Psychologists actually define it as a multidimensional syndrome. It's this coordinated package of feelings, specific thoughts, and pretty potent physiological reactions.
Okay.
And our mission here is to really pull that system apart and find where you can actually intervene effectively.
All right, let's start pulling it apart then. What are the core components? You said it's multidimensional.
Yeah.
So what are the dimensions?
So it generally breaks down into three parts. First, there's the cognitive component. This is all the mental stuff.
Your thoughts.
Right. The appraisals, how you interpret a situation, maybe seeing it as unfair or like you've been deliberately wronged. This often leads to kind of rigid black and white thinking.
Okay, that makes sense. What's next?
Second is the physiological component. This is the body's immediate reaction. Think fight or flight.
Ah, the physical rush.
Yes. You get that rapid increase in heart rate, blood pressure goes up, there's a surge of adrenaline, noradrenaline. The body's basically prepping for action, intense action.
So even if it's just someone cutting you off in traffic, your body's reacting like it's facing a saber-toothed tiger.
Pretty much. The response mechanism is ancient. And then third, there's the behavioral component.
How you act it out.
Exactly. This can range from something subtle, like a frown, all the way to overt aggression. But, and this is really crucial, the emotion anger is distinct from the behavior aggression. Aggression intends harm.
Anger doesn't necessarily have to.
Okay.
But if it can lead to such destructive behavior, why did we evolve it? Why keep it around?
That's a great question. Because fundamentally, anger can be functional. It can be adaptive. This brings us to something called the recalibration theory of anger.
Recalibration. Interesting.
Yeah, it suggests anger evolved specifically as a tool to resolve conflicts of interest. Think of it as a form of negotiation.
A negotiation tactic. How so?
Well, displaying anger signals something important to the person who caused it. It basically says, your actions are imposing a cost on me, and if you don't change, if you don't recalibrate and value my welfare more highly, there will be consequences.
So you're signaling future costs. Like, don't do that again or else.
Precisely. The goal isn't always destruction. It's often about adjusting the relationship dynamics, getting the other party to weigh your interests more heavily.
Okay, that reframes it quite a bit. So it's a negotiation tool. How do we use it constructively? How do we catch it before it just explodes?
Yeah.
You mentioned the cognitive part.
Right. That's often the most accessible leverage point. And this is where the cognitive behavioral model, the ABC framework, is so useful.
ABC.
A is the activating event, the
Yeah.
trigger, like getting cut off in traffic.
Right.
B is your belief about that event, your immediate interpretation, for example. They did that on purpose to disrespect me.
Ah, the story we tell ourselves.
Exactly. That is the direct cause of C, the consequence, the emotional reaction like fury, and the resulting behavior, maybe honking or yelling. The event A is often neutral. It's the belief B that lights the fuse.
So B is the key intervention point. What's a common distortion people fall into at that B stage?
One of the biggest ones and easiest to spot is using should statements.
Should statements.
Yeah, these rigid, absolute rules about how people must or should behave. People should be more considerate. He shouldn't have said that. When reality inevitably violates these rigid shoulds, anger flares up.
Because the world isn't meeting our strict rules.
Exactly. So challenging the rigidity of that should, asking, is that rule really true or helpful? That's a powerful way to dial down the anger right at the source.
So if we manage that B effectively, what does healthy anger expression look like? The successful negotiation.
That's assertive anger. It's the gold standard. It involves communicating your feelings directly, clearly, and respectfully. Using I statements is key. Focusing on the specific problem and working towards a resolution, not just blaming or controlling, like, I feel frustrated when X happens because, not, you always mess things up.
So it's about expressing your needs without attacking the other person.
Precisely. Both parties should ideally feel heard. It stands in stark contrast to the unhealthy ways people often handle anger. Outright aggression, passive aggression, or just suppression, bottling it all up.
Okay, so wrapping this up, we look at anger as a system, understood its potential purpose as a negotiation tool, and identified the ABC model, especially the B for beliefs, as a key lever. What's the big takeaway for someone listening?
Well, one really fascinating idea to explore further is that anger, for many people, is actually a secondary emotion.
Secondary, meaning it's covering something else
Yeah,
up.
exactly. It often acts as a kind of shield, a defense mechanism. It can mask deeper, more vulnerable feelings that we're uncomfortable with, things like hurt, fear, maybe shame. Anger feels powerful. Vulnerability often doesn't.
That's powerful. So the anger feels safer than the underlying feeling.
It can, yeah. So here's the final thought for you to take away and explore. The next time you feel that surge of rage, don't just stop at asking, why am I angry?
Go deeper.
Go deeper. Ask yourself, what painful feeling might this anger be protecting me from right now? Exploring that question. Well, that's the really deep dive. Use the cognitive tools, practice assertiveness, but also consider what might lie beneath the surface.